Hare Krishna to everyone. Today is our North American Day. And we're speaking just English. I don't see many from North America. Maybe I have to, oh yeah, there's a few. I see some now. There they are. Good. I want to make sure the North American devotees are staying on. It encourages me to continue to speak one day in English straight. And I see that there are a good number of you, so thank you for encouraging me. Yesterday we were speaking about, oh yes, Harinamastakam, Kevalastakam. We chanted the bhajan yesterday about the holy name of Sri Hari is everything. Can everyone hear all right? Yes, you can hear. Good, okay. Just checking. There was, of course, Astakam, 8 verses there. And we only took one small section from the first verse. Madhuram Madhurabhyopi Mangalabhyopi Mangalam. We were speaking about how the holy name of Sri Hari is most auspicious. From anything that's auspicious, it's most auspicious. And we read a couple of verses. One verse. I'm going to read again today from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we read one quote from the Nectar of Devotion, where Srila Prabhupada quotes Srila Rupa Goswami, giving the definition of auspiciousness. And then we ended up speaking about Srila Prabhupada movie. It was spontaneous. I was going to speak about something else, but it came to my mind, and I started speaking about Hare Krishna, the mantra, the movement, and the Swami who started it all, because, as I mentioned yesterday, Yadubhar Prabhu decided to continue providing that video free of charge for another week completely. And I was reminding the devotees of that by definition, auspicious means that it's beneficial to everyone. It's welfare activity which is beneficial for everyone. That's what Prabhupada says. And we were explaining that generally we think welfare activity are for those who are needy, and we think of the needy as those who are maybe poor, in poverty, those who are in poor health, and they are considered to be needy. But Rupa Goswami defines auspiciousness as that it's beneficial to everyone, not just those who are materially needy, and we made the point that a needy means especially persons who they may be wealthy, they may be healthy, but they're still very much in need of Mahaprabhu's mercy and Prabhupada's mercy. And then we went off and we started speaking about the opportunity to give people auspiciousness by encouraging those people who may not know so much about Krishna consciousness to take advantage of this movie. And we encourage the devotees, especially those who have colleagues, acquaintances, and family who may be not so much in tune with what Srila Prabhupada has done for the world. It's a good opportunity. So we ended up speaking about that as auspicious. But there were other things I wanted to speak about, and I'm going to cover them today. And I'm going to begin with the verse that we quoted yesterday from Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is from the 6th canto. And it is verse 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse. I'm just going to read the translation. Shukadeva Goswami continued, "My dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reactions of the greatest sins. Therefore, the chanting of the Sankirtan movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously." So Shukadeva Goswami is explaining that the auspiciousness of the Sankirtan movement. I think there's another verse, Etavan evi loko smin pungsam dhamma parasmita bhakti yoga bhagavati tam nama grahanadibi, that the highest religious principle for all living entities is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. I think it's in the same chapter, 3rd chapter, 6th canto of the Bhagavatam. And he emphasized here in this verse that it's considered to be auspicious because it uproots the reactions of the greatest sins. That even a person who's committed so many sins, accumulated for so many births, and we emphasized this point the other day when we were speaking about the offense to consider the statements of Scripture to be exaggeration, that we should never think that any of these statements of Scripture are in any way exaggerated. They are fact, that simply once chanting of the name of the Lord can eradicate more sinful reactions that one can accumulate for so many births. And then, of course, we spoke about offenseless chanting. But this is the point about auspicious, and that is why chanting Hare Krishna is so auspicious, because people are suffering the results of their previous sinful reactions. And this chanting is the best welfare activity, because even a person who may be wealthy and healthy is still accumulating so much sinful reactions. And therefore, this Sankirtan is auspicious. But I wanted to bring up something else, not only in terms of eradicating sinful life. There is some other things that I wanted to read in this connection. It was a nice quote from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who he also describes, and he gives, I believe it's 108 essential instructions. They are listed in Amritavani. And one of the 108 essential instructions he gives is that the most auspicious activity for humankind is to become delivered from the clutches of material existence and to enter into Krishna's eternal family. Taking shelter of the spiritual master can free us from Maya. There is no other way to achieve this freedom. So he takes it a step farther, not only to become free from the reactions of sinful life, but also to, as he says here, to enter into Krishna's eternal family. And there are many references about Krishna's eternal family. We know it as the term which is oftentimes used. In fact, it's oftentimes used in relationship to sannyasis, because a sannyasi is somebody who's supposed to cut off his connections with his immediate family ties, and Prabhupada even explains in one place that we should never ask of a sannyasi's previous family connection. It's not relevant, because he's cut off from those gotras, and he has become Achyuta Gotra, which is a member of Krishna's family. And Srila Jagadananda Pandit also explains in the Prem Vivarta that this applies not only for the renunciates, but it also applies to householders who are Vaishnavas. Householders who are Vaishnavas, it means that they're Achyuta Gotra, they're members of Krishna's family. Prabhupada makes a very nice point about this. I wanted to read it. It's a quote from Srila Prabhupada. So if we serve Krishna, that is our Achyuta position. If we deny to serve Krishna, that is Vichyuta, fallen condition. Achyuta and Vichyuta. So to become Krishna conscious means Achyuta Gotra. Gotra, perhaps you do not know, Gotra is the family tradition. According to Vedic civilization, everyone has got Gotra. Gotra means of the same family of rishis, Gotra from the rishis. So we have to become Achyuta Gotra, again belonging to the family of Krishna. Now we are fallen, therefore we have forgotten that we belong to the family of Krishna. When we revive our consciousness, Krishna consciousness, that I belong to Krishna, to the Krishna's family. And so here Prabhupada is speaking about Achyuta Gotra and emphasizing that a devotee, his family connection is with Krishna. And I oftentimes, I quote this verse also from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which is also very helpful for understanding our position as aspiring Vaishnavas, that for those who are aspiring to become Vaishnavas, then a Vaishnava is one who is a member of Krishna's family. And how does a member of Krishna's family see this world? And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, we should see this material world and everything in it as full of ingredients for the Lord's service. Everything in this world is meant for Krishna's service. The day when we can look at the world like this and become liberated from the material conception, we will be able to see the material world as the spiritual world, Goloka. Then he says, we should treat all women as Krishna's beloveds. They are to be enjoyed by him. Do not look at them with an enjoying spirit. They are meant to be enjoyed by Krishna, never by the living entities. Treat your father and mother as Krishna's father and mother. Instead of considering your children your servants, treat them as friends of child Krishna. Then you will not see the material world everywhere, but Goloka. This is how Vaishnava thinks. Aspiring Vaishnavas should be aspiring for that consciousness. How to see that we're all members of Krishna's family. That's what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said auspiciousness means. Auspiciousness means how to become free from the reactions of sinful life and to enter into Krishna's family. And as we said, Achyuta Gotra is not simply meant, actually we have a quote, we have that quote from Jagadananda Pandit. He asked this question, the question is asked in Prem Bhavarta, that I would like you to clarify kindly another point. I want to know the Vaishnava conclusion on this subject. The Vaishnavas are classified as Achyuta Gotra, a lineage back to Achyuta, the Supreme Lord himself. What is its significance and purport? And the answer is that both the householder and the renunciate Vaishnavas belong to the Achyuta Gotra and not to any other Gotra. The pure devotees of this divine Gotra never become attached to the ritualistic practices of Varnashram Dharma. The Vaishnava gives up his family Gotra and worships the Supreme Lord, taking shelter of his Gotra, because this is the eternal Gotra, stemming from the Lord himself. So, again, This is Vaishnava mentality. Vaishnava mentality is he wants to become part of Krishna's family. And part of Krishna's family means that we're always eager to serve Krishna and to see, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, to see everyone in relationship to Krishna's family. This is spiritual vision. And when, again, we are defining the meaning of auspiciousness and relationship to the holy name, that this is considered to be most auspicious, is not only to eradicate sinful reactions of sinful life, but to enter into Krishna's family. So there's something else I wanted to read also in this connection, because oftentimes we think that when we belong to Krishna's family, we think, of course, Krishna is the head of the family, and we're all his family members. And as Krishna as being as the head of the family, and Prabhupada even uses the example sometimes, he uses the analogy that just as all the members of the family, they serve the Father, and because they serve the Father automatically is inclined to maintain his family members because they're all working for the interest of the Father. And Srila Bhakti, not Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, this one's Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It's an example that I use oftentimes, and he uses the example, again, of family. And he says, it's in relationship to the verse, Ananyastinta yatomam yejanat payuparshate tesham nichibuyuktanam yogakshema vahamyaham. We all know, I'm not going to speak long on this verse, but essentially we know that the word vahami, the emphasis is there that vahami means that Krishna says that for those who are meditating on my transcendental form, meditating on me, for them, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. And vahami literally means that Krishna carries. We know the story of Arjunacharya. We had a difficult time in accepting that Krishna personally carries for his devotee, and how Krishna personally appeared. We're not going to tell the story. But it's a nice story. But the emphasis is on the word vahami. That means that Krishna himself, he personally carries. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary to this verse, he uses the analogy of a family, how a father takes care of his family. And he says in the purport, he said, thus the word vahami, meaning carry, is used. The use of the word vahami indicates that the Lord bears the burden of maintaining their bodies. He's talking about his devotees who engaged in Ananya Bhakti, Ananyas Chintayatomam. He's talking about Ananya Bhaktas who are engaged exclusively in Krishna service. He says, the Lord bears the burden of maintaining their bodies in the manner that the householder takes the responsibility for maintaining his own wife and children. And he also goes on to explain, he says, because my Ananya devotee has no karma due to a lack of desire, naiskamayam, his happiness is given by me alone. Though I am indifferent to all else, I have great affection for my devotee. This is the cause of my bearing responsibility. As well, one should not say that in giving the burden of their maintenance to their worship, why should I let Krishna, in fact, that's how Arjunacharya was thinking, why should I let Krishna maintain me? Why should I be a burden for Krishna? If I exclusively depend on him, that means I'm burdening him. And Krishna is making a point very clearly in this verse, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is making the point very clearly in his commentary, but by exclusively depending on Krishna, exclusively, always remembering him in difficult situations, that when our personal needs arise, then we try our best because it's our duty to try. It's our best. It's our duty to try to take care of the body. Why? Because it's Krishna's body. Krishna says, Aham bija pratapitam. I'm the seed-giving father of all living beings. It's Krishna's body. Why do I take care of the bodies of my family members? Because I see my wife as Krishna's beloved. I see my mother and father as Krishna's parents. And I see my children as Krishna's friends. So that's how a devotee thinks. A devotee thinks that way. His consciousness is that way. And therefore, he shouldn't hold back thinking, why should I burden Krishna? And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is making the point that actually we shouldn't think that we're a burden to Krishna if we think this way. If we not only think this way, but if we act this way. And if we become realized in this way of thinking. There's one thing to think this way, and there's another thing to hold back, and there's another thing to meditate or to aspire for that state of consciousness. That's also thinking in a very positive way, to aspire for that state of consciousness. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur goes on to explain. He says that we should not say that in giving the burden of their maintenance to their worshipable Lord, the devotees show lack of prema. In fact, he's quoting Krishna. He says, in fact, Krishna is saying, they do not give me that burden. Rather, I, by my own will, accept it. It should also be understood that I am not bearing it as a duty. This is Krishna speaking. It should also be understood that I am not bearing it as a duty in the manner that I create and maintain the universe by my will alone. Rather, being attached to my devotees, I take the greatest pleasure in taking care of their needs, like carrying the weight of one's lover. This is how Krishna thinks. Krishna is thinking not a burden, just like the husband is thinking, I'm carrying the weight of my lover. Krishna is thinking, I'm carrying the weight of those devotees who love me. It's not a burden. I like it. Not only does he say, I like it, but he said, this is I relish it. So we should not derive Krishna from that pleasure. And therefore, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, we should not think it's a lack of prema to depend on Krishna. It's actually, if we depend on him and we learn how to depend on him, we cultivate that dependence on him by chanting his name, which is all auspicious and which is beneficial to everyone, which can eradicate everyone from sinful reactions and give us the opportunity to enter into Achyuta Gotra, into Krishna's family. Then this makes Krishna happy. So these are some other indications that came to my mind as I was thinking about how chanting Krishna's name is auspicious. And now, having expanded on a little bit on this meaning of auspiciousness, we should enter into an attempt to make our lives auspicious by chanting in a humble state of mind, thinking ourselves lower than the straw on the street, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others, and more tolerant than the tree. Lord Chaitanya says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the devotee should be so forbearing, so tolerant as a tree, that a tree, even somebody comes and breaks its branch, it never complains. And even if it's drying up, he never asks anybody for water. That's tolerance. practice it. And this is our prayer and our meditation when chanting the holy name of the Lord. And in such a state of mind, then we can become more qualified to chant the holy name of the Lord constantly and with feeling. And these are a few thoughts I wanted to share about auspiciousness. And now we should move into chanting. Oh, Yadubar is there. Hare Krishna. Yadubar, I was just told that you're present by Raj Kumar. I always try to at least to recognize if my godbrothers, any of my godbrothers are present. Thank you for taking part. If you'd like to contribute something, probably be very difficult. But I don't know if you know, but I've been really promoting. I've been really promoting the devotees to share the link and to get others to watch Hare Krishna, the mantra, the movement, and the Swami who started it all. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shiva Siddhi Gaura Bhaktavinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're going to end this session. I don't know if there's Yadubar Prabhu, are you still there? Adira Prabhu, are you still there? Would you like to share? Lakshmi Moni, she's there. Would you like to share some reflections for the other devotees? And reflections or comments that you would like to share? Take advantage of God brothers and God sisters being present today. And if you'd like to share a few reflections. Dara, can you get on? I see you. Okay, well, let's unmute you. Oh, do you have a microphone, Dara?
Haribo.
Haribo, there you are. Hare Krishna. Would you like to share a few reflections?
My reflection is that this is the best japa session, best start to my rounds I've had in many, many years, and I'm just really grateful, Maharaj. Thank you so much for coming on. You were talking about how the dependence on Krishna doesn't stop us from prema, from loving Krishna. And actually, I'm just thinking, what else can we do? It's just like the inhabitants of Vrindavan. They loved Krishna so much, but they had to go to him when Indra came with all the flood, and they had to take shelter of him. So what choice do we have but to surrender to Krishna? And I remember feeling like that once I started hearing the philosophy of Krishna consciousness when I joined this movement. The devotees left me no choice. I had to surrender to Krishna. You're either really stupid if you don't, or you just in total ignorance and don't understand anything. So what choice do we have? We have no shelter other than Krishna's, and especially Krishna's name. In this age, that's Krishna. What is it? Kali Kali Namarupa.
Kali Namarupa Krishna Avatar. Namahoite Haisava Jagat Nistara.
So all devotees are taking shelter of the holy name with Maharaj's kind association. It's just absolutely wonderful. Krishna is manifest in this holy name. The name is Krishna, and Krishna is the name.
Thank you.
Haribo.
Haribo. Yadubar Prabhu, are you there? We need to find you. He's probably hiding in the background. Yeah, there he is. Would you like to share something?
Okay, sure, Maharaj. Again, thank you so much for your kindness upon us. And I was thinking that Krishna's care for us makes us love him even more. It's just so our dependence on him and his love for us by caring for us and maintaining us and supporting us is just heartwarming. One thing about the film I'd like to mention is that is that there are Russian subtitles available. Some devotees don't know how to access the subtitles. You go to settings on YouTube. It's in the lower right-hand corner of the picture, and it's a little round gear type wheel.
Unfortunately, though, Yodobar, the devotees who don't understand that are the devotees, the devotees who only understand Russian, and they're not going to understand you. And the devotees who understand English don't need the subtitles.
Okay.
But I put a video on my website that shows, I actually made a video. It shows how to click on the button and
Fantastic.
how to Russian subtitles. It's right on my website.
Thank you.
Right there.
All right. So that should do it.
Okay. Lakshmi Moni, would you like to share anything? We have to find you first. Oh, maybe she's not there. Of course, even she says she is there unless we unmute it. Oh, there she is. Yes, she's just waved her hand. See her? Right there. No. She's down. Yeah, see that hand? No, you unmuted the wrong one. Lakshmi Moni, come
now
back
I'm
here.
unmuted. It's better off that I'm muted.
Oh, you keep on disappearing.
Oh, well, what to do?
Oh, there we are. We got you. There it is.
Unfortunately. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for this opportunity to chat with you every other day. It's been very kind of you. I'm grateful. Yeah, it's funny being so completely dependent on internet association with Vaishnavas. And I'm grateful for whatever comes my way. So I was very, very moved, actually, by the description by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur of Krishna's caring for his devotees and how much he wants to take care of his devotees, even though his devotees don't want to ask him to take care of them. He's very inspired to take care of them because he loves them. If we could remember that a little bit more, that would be very helpful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we will end here. I need to go on my walk. And we'll unmute everybody, and everybody can end with repeating the Hare Krishna mantra, please.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna,
You can.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
You want to sing?
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare.